A Hawaii delivery driver who pulled in $114,000 on DoorDash last year says the tips are awesome and it's like delivering in paradise. I stumbled upon this article and I was like, wow, this is pretty crazy. Let's check this out. Let's see. Ronald Coleman, a 45-year-old DoorDash driver based in Honolulu, Hawaii, says he's delivering in paradise. And the money isn't half bad either. He brought in $114,000 in revenue on DoorDash last year, according to documents viewed by Insider, and said he's on pace to make roughly $120,000 in 2023. Note these are top line figures that don't include operating expenses like gas and vehicle maintenance, which is going to be pretty interesting. Now, honestly, to me, like if I were to do like a DoorDash type of situation where I'm using a vehicle for all this sort of stuff, I would probably potentially think about getting like an electric car just so that I could save a good amount of money on gas. But again, that really like you got to do the numbers to really see if it actually makes sense. But if you can get super cheap car insurance on that car, and you could get your like how much it actually costs you to buy that car super low, then it might actually be more worthwhile to actually buy an electric car just so that you're not spending that money on gas. So you can make a higher profit margin. So before working as a driver, Coleman worked in the auto repair industry in Michigan, a job he said he increasingly felt burnt out from, which I could understand. Like repair stuff would probably be pretty brutal on the body. In the summer of 2020, he tried DoorDash, found some success, and eventually decided to pursue it full time. He kept it up when he moved to Hawaii in 2021. He earned roughly 73,000 in 2021 and has completed over 24,000 deliveries to date. Interesting. I believe the key to my success is based on my work ethic, he told Insider. Staying consistent, minimizing my distractions, learning the market I'm in, and providing quality customer service also play a huge role. Which, by the way, maybe that one pizza delivery DoorDash guy could maybe learn something from this. Like, maybe don't talk bad about a customer that gave you a 25% tip. You know? Potentially something to think about. But Coleman said he's also been quite fortunate in one area tipping. The tips in the Honolulu market are awesome. He said, I honestly can't complain about tipping. While he said tips can vary considerably, he once received a $112 tip for an order with a base pay of $5.50, according to a document viewed by Insider. Another showed a $50 tip on top of a $13 base pay. In my opinion, most people who visit here are more eager to tip because they are on vacation, he said. Interesting point. So, in the continental United States at least, many drivers for platforms like Uber and DoorDash have told Insider they aren't happy with their tips. For these drivers, Coleman said he has some advice. Lose the entitlement mindset. Not everyone will tip, and they aren't required to, he said, adding, some people do tip and some don't. There is really no strategy for getting tips. I kind of like the this guy's mindset about the whole thing because he's really against the whole entitlement thing. Because again, that whole like pizza DoorDash driver guy who was complaining about the $5 tip on a $20 order, it's like I can understand someone complaining about a tip, right? Because obviously everybody wants to make more money, obviously, right? But the fact that that guy felt entitled to more money just because that lady who did the order had a nice house is beyond disgusting, right? Like you cannot have that type of mindset because it's just going to be bad for you as like the driver. It's just going to be bad for you, right? Because the reality is No one wants you to do better than yourself, right? You are the one who's going to care the most about yourself, right? So, also, you can't really control what other people do. All you can do is try your best to provide awesome customer service so that people will want to have you again, right? And also potentially tip you really well. Now, again, like this guy said, you can't control whether or not they tip or how much they tip. But again, like you can only control what you can control, like which is yourself. So Coleman has four other pieces of advice for drivers looking to get ahead. First, use DoorDash over the other delivery apps. Coleman said he's tried delivering with Instacart, Uber Eats, and Grubhub, but that he's found considerably more success with DoorDash. Those apps are something that I really don't care for, he said. I try them so I can say from experience that they're not for me. In my opinion, DoorDash is one of the best apps out. Second, don't chase after the money. Just because an order pays $20, it doesn't always mean that it's worth taking it, he said, particularly if it's far away. But at a minimum, he said drivers should make sure they're earning at least $1 to $1.50 a mile. See, I really like this guy's like mindset because he truly views it as like a business. He truly views it like, okay, what is going to basically make it the most worthwhile for me in terms of like money versus cost, like income versus outgo, and also time. So I really like how this guy really thinks about it. It's pretty nice. Third, focus on maintaining a strong rating. Acceptance rate and completion rate. Coleman has a 70% acceptance rate, a 93% completion rate, and a 4.98 rating. I have tried to accept 70% of the orders that are given to me every hour because it helps you with your ratings, he said. Higher ratings can lead to better opportunities, and those opportunities can turn into better earnings. Fourth, even if it won't always result in a great tip, Coleman said providing great customer service is important for getting and keeping a high rating. He said he tries to update customers on their order status consistently, and in the case of grocery deliveries, allows them to choose a replacement when an item is unavailable. I treat every delivery I accept as if I was ordering it myself, he said. Looking ahead, Coleman said he has no plans to leave Hawaii and that he hopes to put the money he's been saving up towards some entrepreneurial endeavor someday. He said the only downsides to doing DoorDash in the Aloha state are the traffic and the number of one-way streets that can make driving challenging. The Hawaii market is exceptional overall, he said. There are ocean views, sunny skies, and the people are from all walks of life. So I just really like this because like this guy made it happen, right? Like this guy made it so that he could get a really nice income. Now, of course, I don't know what his expenses are, but even factoring in expenses, you're still clearing a really good amount of money. Now, again, this is in Hawaii, which is a pretty expensive place to live, but still, with everything said, being able to bring this in as a DoorDash driver is pretty awesome. And I think a lot of people can actually learn from this, even if they aren't a DoorDash driver, but just basically someone who like is like working for themselves or just working, right? It's like provide good customer service, do your best, control yourself because that's all you can control, and see what happens. If you want to learn how to get a debt, go to 40inbox.com. Stay tuned for more financial